Now take a look at this spectacular bucolic setting where this field seems to roll on forever. And imagine 40 years ago, this hill was covered by 500,000 kids and hippies and peaceniks, all gathered here to hear the music of Janis Joplin, Sly and the Family Stone, Joe Cocker, and Jimi Hendrix. Yes, this is the site of the Woodstock concert that took place 40 years ago. I'm Michael Riedel of the New York Post, and we have come to the Bethel Center for the Arts, which houses the museum devoted to the concert Woodstock and to the 60s. And we're going to have a tour of the museum by its curator, Wade Lawrence. So come along and let's go back in time.
Got my question there, baby. Do you know I'm headed off for war?
The story of Woodstock would be almost meaningless if you didn't have a story of the 60s. What was life like in America, in the world, in 1960 and up to 1969? And of course, the prelude was Kennedy's inauguration and culminated with Woodstock.
But then in between that, though, we have the assassination of Kennedy, the assassination of Martin Luther King, and the Vietnam
War and the draft.
Right.
Without the draft, the peace protest probably would not have happened.
Without the draft, no Woodstock, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've got to tell those stories. In this area, this is about the only place that we actually pay homage to the individual artists. We've got banners to Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix, Mick Jagger, Sam Cooke. While other museums may do that very well of spotlighting the individual artist, ours is more a narrative about the whole event and the social impact of Woodstock. Our story is more about an audience that came together to witness some great music, but I think the audience story is almost more compelling than the musician story. This is the first of 3 interactives where you can explore the music. And you touch the screen, explore the music, and with the headphones on, you hear a little narrative about music of the 60s.
Yeah.
And these were the portables, and you know, these were freedom.
Yeah.
If you had a transistor radio, you had your music everywhere.
Right, right. And I guess that is key, the technology is key to the rise and the impact of the music, because you've now moved away from having to sit around with your parents listening to the gramophone and you get a new record on a Sunday night, or the radio. Everyone used to gather around the radio. So the kids have their own technology, their own music, and their own space now. And in the early part of the 60s, it was still AM radio. It was still those DJs with all the jock schlock. Yeah. So this is sort of the on the cutting edge of the way museums are being constructed now, where everything is interactive. We no longer go to museums and just read labels and decals and move on to the next. Well, it's got to be a good mix. You can't just have interactive, then it's just a video game. The bus is this wonderful exhibit where you can actually get on the bus, sit on the bus, and watch a film about how people got to the festival. Somehow I think the bus is a little bit cleaner and smells better than the buses that were bringing the people up to Woodstock 40 years ago. Yeah, this is a wonderful installation. 3 stories tall, 4 screens, 9 projectors. In 9 minutes, we walk you through the whole festival. From start to finish. From the standpoint of the audience. Can you make it rain so people get the real feel of what it was like? That's next. I want to have some misters in here that actually make it rain. See, I want some mud in the floor. That's interactive. It doesn't smell right. The official, do we have an official count of how many people were at Woodstock? Who makes it official? Depending on who you're reading, it was 400,000, 500,000. Because you know, wait, of course, I was there. Oh, yeah. I was 2, but that was And were you counting? How many? If you went to the locals today and you said, I'd like a permit for a concert for 500,000 people on Bethel Farm, they'd say, yeah, absolutely.
I don't think that you'd get that permit today. I think that 500,000 people in this area, the infrastructure hasn't changed.
So still no bathrooms here.
17B is still a 2-lane road. So, you know, there will never be another gathering as large as Woodstock in Sullivan County, at least not in the foreseeable future.
So, Wade Lawrence, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.